As of lately, I've been working on my two-way playmaker build, my Catfish two-way playmaker build. But as me messing around with the My Player Builder, you won't be surprised what I found. As of today, I'm going to be showing you guys a crazy Catfish build that you will not even understand how you got the name for. But as of today, we're going to be showing you guys how to make the perimeter lock Catfish build on NBA 2K22. As this build has the potential to get contact dunks, have an 83 pointer, an 80 ball control, then having better stats on defense than normal on a build without having Hall of Fame or less red in their pie chart. I'm gonna tell y'all this now. This one might be the one that a lot of people might get confused on. A Catfish contact dunking, speed boosting, perimeter lockdown. But as I got the badge count 12, 18, 15, and 8, I will be showing y'all boys how to make this build. As you end up making this build, you can make it point guard or shooting guard, but I would prefer you to make this a shooting guard. It's a reason why I'm telling you shooting guard, because you get the more attribute upgrades, and you're gonna get an extra 2 badges in a category that you wouldn't get at point guard. But as we end up making this build, if you haven't yet, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe, put on both notifications if you haven't yet. Let's get back into the video. As of the pie chart, as I always tell you, if you want to make one of the best Catfish builds and get one of the craziest Catfish names, you're going to end up using the more blue less green pie chart or the more green less blue pie chart. Those are 2 of the best pie charts to use to make Catfish builds, or make an all-around build if you want. So look, as we're going to end up picking this more blue less green pie chart, with this build, as I said earlier, it's going to be somewhat of a taller build than I'm usually playing on. As you know, I usually play on a 6'2", 6'3" builds, but we're going to end up picking the physical profile. And as the physical profile that you're going to choose, you're going to mess with the first profile. It's going to be the speed profile. With me picking this profile, as we not having Hall of Fame playmaking on this build or any type of yellow mainly in this build, this is going to be the one that's going to save this build and give you the speed that you need. But as we end up creating this build, if you're not in the metric system, you're going to end up getting the name two-way tempo pusher. I'm going to let y'all guys know this now before you even get too in depth. If you end up making this in the Imperial system, you will get the name two-way tempo pusher. So make sure, if you want the name, put it in the metric system. But also, there's another key thing when it comes to making this build. You do not want to max out your driving layup. You want to make your driving layup at 85 driving layup, because once you go over that 85, it'll give you a whole different name, and it's going to give you a whole different setup. As you end up getting 12 finishing badges, you could go for 13 if you want to, but with this pie chart, a lot of you guys already know you can get a crazy badge count. Most people, like I always tell y'all, with this pie chart and you don't got extra badge points, you can go with 15, 16, 15, and 7. But as of getting this name, you're not going to get the name perimeter lockdown if you go with that badge count. But as of having 18 shooting badges, you not have to have 18. You can drop it to 15 or 16 if you want to, but you have to put that all on defense at that point. But with playmaking, you do not want to go past 77 pass accuracy. You go past 77 pass accuracy, you're not going to get the name. You're going to get a whole different name. You go past 77 pass accuracy, you might get a two-way slashing playmaker. You're going to get slashing playmaker. So keep that in mind as well. So as you got 12, 18, 13, and 7, as I had the extra badge points, I end up throwing 2 on playmaking and 1 on defense. Hey, if you got 4 extra badge points, this build will be crazy. But if you only got like 2 or so, the best thing I can tell you to do is just throw it on playmaking so you can get the best of both worlds. But look, as you end up making this build, as a body types, I'll always go with solid and defined body types. But as we're getting to the point where we're getting to the heights of the actual metric system, you guys are gonna have to actually pay attention. This is gonna be a part that's gonna be very critical of how you make this build. So as this being 1.96, in Imperial system, this will be literally 6'5". If you make this in Imperial system, it's gonna be 6'5". But if you make the build 1.95, this build is 6'4.5". So this leads you to be able to still get contact dunks with this build. But now you're able to get small contact dunks while being 6'4.5", because if you're 6'5", 2K will not allow you to be able to get them small contact dunks, even though you have the actual rating for it. But as of 1.94, 1.94 is 6'4". With you being 6'4", lowest weight, wingspan, you have an 87 speed and 87 acceleration. Then you add the additional +8 from gym rat, and you getting 99 on this build, and you will be at a 95 speed and acceleration. But as you making this build 6'4.5", the speed on the build, if you end up going lowest weight, you will still have that 95 at 99, but you will end up having a 94 acceleration on this build. So as you go up in height, you're going to lose a little acceleration here and there. So if you go into the 6'5" and you want to be 6'5", if you want to, I do prefer you go with the 6'4.5". That's one of the best ones to pick because you're getting more out of it. You get small contact dunks, you get regular contact dunks, you're able to dribble, you still keep the 95 speed instead of going to 94, and also you'll be able to unlock certain moves that you couldn't unlock at being 6'5". So look, as you end up making the 6'5", like I told you, you're gonna have a 94 speed and like a 94 acceleration. But if you're someone that wants to make this build taller, you can make it taller if you want. You can make this build up to 6'6", the good way, like actually get the actual decent stats. 6'6" will be the highest I would go. 6'7" is just pushing it. At 6'7", you might as well just try a whole different pie chart to even get some build like this. But as you end up making this, I will tell you, 6'4.5", go with the 1.95. But I definitely can see this build being a nice little 1v1 court type build. It's a fun little ISO build that you can use. And also it can be a good secondary ball handler build that you can use. As you have 8 defensive badges, if you end up throwing an extra badge point on defense, you definitely can get the job done when it comes to being a secondary ball handler on your team or the main ball handler on your team. But as you're going to end up making a 6'4.5", and with the badge count 12, 18, 13, and 7, you definitely get the job done even if you don't have the extra badge count or extra badge attributes from actually repping up from the season. But look, as of the takeovers that you get when you end up making this build, you get slashing, shot creating, lock, and play. If you're someone that doesn't care for the playmaking takeover, I'm telling you, there's no point in putting playmaking takeover on this. And if you're someone that just want to have a lock take, it's cool. But as of actually being a somewhat ISO build or a scoring type of build, I would throw slash and take on it so I can get really crazy with it. Like literally get real crazy with it. Even though you can get contacts with this build, I could throw with the shot creating or the slashing. That's really the big 2 options I would choose from. You could throw the lock on there, but as you being in lock, of course they're going to think, oh, perimeter lock, okay, he got defense. But as you actually having slashing takeover in this build, they might play off of you, you will still be able to knock down that 3. But as you get the dang perimeter lock on this Catfish build with this pie chart, hey, now it's time to show y'all boys how to set this up with the badge points you got. And if you got extra badge points, let me know in the comment section, where would you put the extra badge points for you if you had them? Now it's time for me to break down how I would set these badges up if I had to use these actual badge setup like what I'm rocking right now, since we only have Hall of Fame finishing. And most of the time you're gonna go in, you're gonna try to get the contact, or you're gonna end up dunking the ball. Posterizer on Hall of Fame, and then you're gonna go with limitless takeoff on Hall of Fame. You could go with gold. Hall of Fame is sometimes excessive, but if you got that Michael Jordan dunk, once you get the build to 99, put that on Hall of Fame. But as a fearless finisher, you can put it on silver or bronze. It still works good. But if you're someone that plays the 1v1 court, it's a reason why I put this unstrippable right here, just in case. Because you know, in 1v1 court, somebody, most of the time they end up trying to ball stripper you, or they try to jump with you. But the ball stripper is more successful than even jumping on this game when it comes to paid defense. As the shooting badges, they're going to actually equip. We're going to have the stop and pop, the snipers, the hot zone hunter. We're going to put that lucky 7 on bronze, just in case if you do play 2s or you do play the 1v1 court. But Deadeye on silver, blinders on silver. Only reason I'm putting blinders on silver because if you do choose to go with the shot creator, you could switch that, and then you put the shelf on silver if you want. But I usually mess around with difficult shots or even circus 3s. But as a playmaking, you got 13 badges. Now you have to prioritize what badges that you actually need, not what you want, what you need. As you being a build under an 88 ball control, you're gonna have that quick chain on, you're gonna have the handles for days, you're gonna have the quick first steps, and you're gonna have unpluckable on silver, but you're gonna also have bullet passer on silver. But if you're just spotting up with this build, you can switch it out. You put your unpluckable lower with some handles for days a little lower and quick chain lower, and put your glue hands on if you're just spotting up with this build here and there. But as a defensive badges, you can set this up so many ways, and I'm just leave that to y'all because everybody play defense a little bit differently. But look, if you want to end up seeing gameplay on this build, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, put on post notifications if you haven't yet. Hey, it been your man ChaMoma. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one, and I'm out.